Excuse me if it appears a little bit smoky in the background because I've been vaping. Yes, I've been vaping. I'm an atheist. And I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of other atheists on YouTube. And there was this one atheist I watched claiming that she didn't actually know what happens when you die. But I'm going to explain from my own point of view what actually happens when you die. What actually happens when you die? Well, for all your close friends and your family, you will be remembered. You may not still exist in bodily form here on this earth, but your memory will still live on. Yes, the memory of all your friends and other ones will still live on to an extent like you're no longer here in bodily form, but all your family and friends have such great memories of you. Especially if you're a meaningful person and will give 100% to your family and friends. Your friends will remember you and will go on conversations to keep your memory alive. Yes, that's one thing will happen. Even though you're no longer here in bodily form, if you're a meaningful person and you do the right thing, you will be remembered by all your family and friends. And I'm saying that when you die, even though you're no longer here in bodily form, that you'll have such wonderful memories from both your friends and your families. If you've been a good, meaningful person and have been there 100% for your family and friends, you may not still exist in bodily form, but your memories will still live on by your family and friends forever. And it being that the memories of your family and friends will be so very strong, in a sense, even though you're still not here in bodily form, you'll always exist in good memory. Like I have a papa. My papa's name was Frank Terry, which I always called him Papa Terry. Papa Terry was always there for us 100%. He was always there for my grandma Terry. Her name is Virginia Terry, but I call her Grandma Terry. Papa was always there and supported my Mama Terry no matter what. My grandpa was a dedicated plasterer for most of his life. He plastered people's homes, and he worked for many years as a plasterer. And my Papa Terry even did jobs on the weekends, which was plastering the homes of his people he knew, his friends. And I worked as an apprentice. at the job. I would make sure everything was cleaned up. I would spray out the barrel that they did the plastering in, that they mixed the plaster. I would wash out, take a hose and spray out the barrel that they plastered in on their side jobs, what they call them, their side jobs. The plastering jobs that my Grandpa did for his friends and people that he knew on the weekends. I would spray out the barrels, and I would like sweep up, make sure the area was nice and clean. Sometimes I would even actually help with the plastering. Yes, I worked for my Papa Terry. And Papa Terry was a lot of fun to work with. I mean, we would do our work, and we would joke around and cut up. We would joke around on all kinds of things. And after a long week of school, it's like that long week of school didn't matter anymore because I had my Papa Terry to cut around and joke around with. And I would help my Papa Terry do work around his house, trim his hedge down, maybe help plaster around the house, and I would mow his lawn. And Papa, it's like no matter what, he respected me and treated me like that I was human. Papa Terry was my go-to therapeutic counselor. I had a lot of problems in elementary school, and I always had a lot of problems when I was in high school. I'm not going to state what them problems are, but Papa Terry was always my go-to person. Always my go-to person for all the problems that were infesting my mind. Yeah, all my problems in elementary school and high school that were infesting my mind. And Papa Terry would always give me good advice on what I need to do to straighten myself up. Yes, Papa Terry would always give me really good advice on what I need to do to straighten myself up. Even as far back as maybe about 5 or 6 years old, I still have good memories of my Papa Terry. Papa Terry was always there for my Mama Terry, was always there for all of us family 100%. Anytime we needed him, anytime we needed Papa Terry was there for us. Papa Terry was my best friend. Yes, Papa Terry was my best friend. Sadly, very sadly, back in 2001, the exact year that I bought this house, my Papa Terry was diagnosed with brain cancer and was bed rested for about 6 months. And from 6 months of his cancer diagnosis, from that time on, my Grandpa Terry died right there in his, house, being bed rested. Yes, even though my Papa Terry is no longer here in bodily form, my memories from when I was a child on, I will cherish them memories forever. And I will cherish them memories on and on. And the amount that I cherish the memories will be in a sense like, even though my Papa is no longer here in bodily form, that he is still there in my memory, and all the rest of my family, and all the rest of my friends. His memory will be there to be cherished on and on. and to be remembered on and on. My papa is not all the way gone because I have such wonderful memories. My family has such wonderful memories. His family has such wonderful memories that the memory will live on forever and ever. And my papa Terry will never be forgotten. He was a great man, did good deeds for me and the family, did good deeds for everybody else. And that will never be forgotten. And you can use that to build up a good memory to keep my papa's meaning here for life. So, what really happens when you die? Well, as I just presented, the memories from your family and friends will live on forever and ever. Like you're still existing here on earth. It'll be like you're still existing on earth. You may not be here in bodily form, but the memories of all your family and friends will be so strong that in a sense you'll be like still be here. But what personally happens to you when you die, I'm sorry to say this, but as far as your personal self, your personal existence, I believe that nothing happens when you die. There is no heaven. There is no hell. Nothing happens to yourself when you die. The part of you that thinks, the part of you that sees, and the part of your other senses go pitch black. You don't see, you don't think, you don't hear. It's all pitch black. You're gone. You're gone for good. When you die, your memory will live on forever and ever. But everything else, you will, if you suffer from terminal cancer, if you suffer from a painful cancer, if you suffered a painful death, then you will be at peace. You will finally be at peace after suffering from all that painful cancer or that other painful terminal illness that you suffer from. You will be at peace with that. But as far as anything else, everything will be pitch black. You don't see, you don't think, you don't hear, you're gone. Everything is pitch black. As an atheist, sorry, this is a scary truth, but as an atheist, I know this all to be true. And any reasonable person would know that and wouldn't doubt me for a minute. Trust me, any reasonable person out there wouldn't doubt me for even 1 minute. Trust me, I've done research and I know this shit. When you die, everything is pitch black. You don't see, you don't think, you don't hear. You're gone. You are gone for good. And everybody needs to accept that. And accept the fact that there is no heaven or hell. Once you're gone, you're gone. I hope that I've made my point very clear because this is all very important here.